my name is Luann Pygott. I am in my kitchen today, and I am going to make a recipe that we have had in the family for I don't know how long, since I was a kid. I got to wondering, I don't even know where this recipe came from. I'd like somebody in my family to tell me where did they get this recipe? It is called wild rice casserole. Now, it's really kind of a misnomer because does not actually use wild rice. So if you've ever had wild rice it looks like little black sticks, and it's real crunchy and chewy, and I don't like it. So I don't really like wild rice. I can eat it, but it's not my favorite. But it doesn't use that rice. It uses white rice, regular white rice. But it is called wild rice casserole. So really, I think it should be called beef flavored casserole. Beef flavored rice is what it is. So you're taking your rice and making it beef flavored, and you're adding some stuff to it. So I'm going to show you that recipe real quick, and let me flip this around. And put that down. Okay, I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to put my pan over here because this is really easy. You'll find out how easy this is. So I'm going to take my dish. I'm going to chop my onion. So I've already got, last night, I went ahead, did a little quick prep. I already chopped up a green pepper. So there's the chopped green pepper that I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to chop this onion. Now, really what I'm doing is I'm just chopping what's left of this onion. It was a pretty big onion. It says put a whole onion in this, but these onions are gigantic. So this is like half of a huge onion. So I'm just going to chop what's left of that. So it kind of doesn't matter how much onion you put in there. Put whatever you want. Now, I'm going to go ahead and slice into the onion. This is how I do it. I cut down into it, and it can be pretty big pieces if you want, average size pieces. Kind of like I did the green pepper. I'm just cutting hash marks into it. Now there's, I'm sure, a fancier chef way to do this, and I don't care. I do it my way. I'll cut down into it. It just happens to have a flat side here. Then I'm just going to slice that down. And there we go. This is a teeny weeny tiny cutting board. I should have probably used my bigger one, but I didn't. I do have a full size over there. It's got stuff on it. Okay. Let's cut another chunk here. I'm going to spend my time picking the onion up off the counter. Seriously, should have used the big cutting board. Oh, this is silly. Okay, we're cleaning off the big cutting board. There, it's cleaned off. Here we go. I just love this little one. It's so handy. Doesn't take up much room. This one takes up an insane amount of room. But I need it. Oops. Sorry. See, that's why I'm banging into everything. That's why I like the little one. Don't have to make room for an army. Okay, here we go. I love these bamboo cutting boards. They don't get all nicked up like the wooden ones do. I'm slicing some more. So now I have, with this wild rice casserole, first thing I do is it does call for mushrooms, a can of mushrooms, and nobody really likes mushrooms, so I've gotten where I just leave that out. If you have somebody in your family that like mushrooms, go ahead and put the mushrooms in it. And the other people can eat around it. That's what we always did. But with just me and Mom, neither one of us really like the mushrooms. So I just leave it out. So feel free to leave out the mushrooms or put them in. And it just takes a small can of mushrooms. You know, that little small can is like that big. That's what you put in it. But I know some people even leave out the green peppers in this, but you can leave out whatever you want. You can leave out this onion, but this is going to add an awful lot of moisture. Now I'm putting my oven, just chop it up smaller. If people don't like onion, they'll never know. I got my oven on 425. Okay, here's my onion chopped up. Get all the pieces in there. Now, while I'm doing this, I'm going to go to that little pan right there. And I'm going to, this is a quick Sunday meal. An easy one. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm making barbecue roast beef. So what it is I have some roast beef left over from last week. And I've had it in the freezer. So all I'm going to do is make it barbecue. So I'm going to put some barbecue sauce. This is Sweet Baby Ray's. There's another one I like better, but they didn't have it in the store. So this is honey barbecue. And it's good. Just put whatever kind of barbecue sauce you like. I'll put that in the pan, let it warm up. And then I'm going to put the roast beef in there. And instant barbecue roast beef. Really easy. And I'm also going to be using a can of peas as our vegetable. And you can use frozen peas. Whatever vegetable you want. We love these peas. Me and Mom do. So we're having peas. This is it's really quick dinner. And then this is going to be all nice and fresh homemade. So let me put this out of the way now. And I'm going to show you what I do to put this together. I kind of have developed my own way. It's not really it's my own order of how to put stuff in here. Because if you put it in the order where you dump the goodies on top, it rises to the top and you just have this coating of stuff on top. And some of it gets kind of dried out. I prefer like the onions and the onion soup and the peppers. I prefer it mixed into the casserole rather than just sitting on top. And a lot of times when we've always made this, it's always on top. And it's easier to scrape off and get out of your way that way. But I love the peppers and the onions and stuff mixed in. So I put these ingredients specifically in this order to get it in this way. So the first thing I'm going to put in this pan is 3/4 of a stick of butter. And that's 6 tablespoons. So I'm going to take this butter, and you want to chop it into some pieces. Well, I've had it sitting out here a little bit. It's gotten a little soft. It doesn't want to get off the paper. Okay, there we go. So, cut it into 6 tablespoons and just lay it in here. No special way. Just put it in there. Spread it around. Okay, so then there's your 6 tablespoons of butter. 3/4 of a stick. Oh, hold on, let me get a napkin here. I got butter all over my hands. Okay, that's what I put in first. Second, I put in this onion because I don't want it just all on the top. I want it mixed in with the rice. I like it better that way. It keeps the rice moister. So I put onion next. So you just dump all your onion on top of the butter. But feel free to do it with this on the top if you'd rather have like a topping. I think it just gets a little drier. So I've got my barbecue sauce working over here. All right, and I've got my oven preheating. So then third, I like to put in the green pepper. I really think it makes a difference to how, to where I like it, doing it this order. There's my green pepper. Fourth, I put in a can of French onion soup. So this is a condensed soup, French onion soup. This is because these onions, I like mixed in with the casserole rather than just lay it on top. If you like it laying on top, put it in at last. But I like it mixed in with the rice. Okay, so there's the soup. Then fifth, I've got all these numbers so I don't forget. Fifth, I put in the dry rice. This is 1 cup of uncooked white rice. Yes, it's called wild rice casserole. Has no wild rice in it. It's just going to turn it into brown rice. Or it's not actually brown rice. It's going to turn into beef rice. So then I put all the rice on at this point. And it'll mix around a little bit, but I just like it this way. Okay, so then fifth. Sixth, this is where I put the mushrooms. If you want mushrooms, put them on now. You drain it. So open the little can of mushrooms, drain off the water, then put the mushrooms on top. I just don't like mushrooms. I leave that out. And then it says a can of beef bouillon soup. I could not find a can of beef bouillon soup. I had to get this beef consomme. I'm hoping it's going to work the same. I don't know. Or at least close enough. I mean, it was my only option. But you want it. I don't think they even call it beef bouillon soup anymore. I think they call it condensed beef broth soup or something. But you don't want the beef broth. It's too weak. You want the condensed soup because of the extra flavor. And so I'm just going to use this one. But normally you're going to put the condensed beef broth here. But, we don't have a lot of good options anymore in the store because of COVID. Sometimes you can't get what you want. but I just kind of pour it around. Now, because this is rice, and when rice is cooked, rice has to steam. You got to put a lid on this. Okay, that's all my ingredients right there. That's it. So you got to put a lid on it, or you could cover it with foil, but there we go. My oven is now ready, so I'm going to stick this in the oven, 425 degrees for 45 minutes. And then, poof, it's done. It is so good. It's really good with any kind of beef. So I'm going to put that in the oven. I'm going to set that for 45 minutes. And then I will show you a picture of it when it comes out. There's my 45 minutes. Now, let me get my beef. This is my leftover roast beef here. There's my leftover roast beef I had in the freezer. So I'm going to put him right over here. I knew that was going to happen. Sorry about that. I'm moving my camera around and it just took a dive. I had it anchored to my holder here, but it doesn't work very well. Okay. Let me see if I can get it to stay. Okay, there, now it'll stay. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put my beef, roast beef. This is rump roast that's cooked in a crock pot. It's the tenderest stuff you've ever seen in your life. Look at that. Tender, it just falls apart. Cook it in a crock pot, 12 hours on low. Add about half a cup of water. And poof, you have the most tender roast beef you've ever had in your life. So all I'm going to do is break all that up in this barbecue sauce. I probably need more barbecue sauce. And poof, barbecue roast beef. Look how easy was that, leftovers. So that way it's not really the same thing we ate last week. Because this has been in the freezer, so it, you want to keep it in the freezer if you're going to wait a week. But I thawed it. It's thawed now. I thawed it last night. Put it in the refrigerator. There we go. A little bit more sauce. And then once that's done, and I cook the peas, man, I've had dinner. So look how quick and easy that dinner was. Very quick and easy. And then the rice, after the 45 minutes, you want to check it. Take a little bite. We'll take it out with a fork. Take a little bite out. Let it cool so you don't burn the roof of your mouth off. This has got some fat in it. I'm going to take that fat off. And test it. Just make sure the rice is done. If it's not done, put it back in there for 10, 15 minutes. 5, 10 minutes. And if it's done, it's usually done. There you go. So there we have it. That is my wild rice casserole. Like I said, I don't know when that's from. That's probably from the 50s, 60s or something. That's been in the family for years, that recipe. Very easy. Hi, how are you doing? But I'm going to go ahead and go, and I will put the recipe in the comments and also a picture of the finished product. And until later today when I do my ministry live, I hope you have a good day. Bye.